Biology is the study of the living world. It is a subject which is subdivided into specialized disciplines that enfolds origin, distribution, physiology, morphology, behavior, and anatomy. The biology also explains the mechanisms involved behind the functioning of the human body, other organisms, and green life. Thus, the logical illustration of infinite biological phenomena presented in the simplest form using schematic diagrams, graphs, pictures, and practical makes this subject very much interesting. So, West Bengal State Board Class 12 Biological Sciences Syllabus is prescribed by the West Bengal Council of Higher Secondary Education, commonly known as Wbchse. So, welcome to ENTRANCEADVISER.com. If you are new to this channel, please hit the bell icon and do subscribe to our channel. So, let's start the video. Wbchse Class 12 Biology Syllabus. It is the unit-wide marks distribution. The unit name along with the marks. The reproduction of organisms, Unit 1 of the marks 14. Unit 2 Genetics and Evolution, marks 18. Unit 3 Biology and the Human Welfare, Unit 3 of marks 14, and Unit 4 the Biotechnology and its Application, that is of marks 10, and Unit 5 Ecology and Environment, that is of marks 14. Coming to the details, the Unit 1 Reproduction in Organisms. Reproduction in Organisms. Introduction. The reproduction is the characteristic features of all organism forms, continuation of the species. Modes of reproduction, asexual and sexual. Asexual reproduction, definition, characteristics. Modes of asexual reproduction, general discussion of the following types in brief with the common examples and diagram of each type. The binary fission, sporulation, budding, gemule, fragmentation, regeneration. Vegetative propagation in plants, natural and artificial. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Flower structure, typical structure of a complete regular flower with a diagram. The pollination, definition, types, self-pollination, autogamy, getnogamy, and the cross-pollination, allogamy and xenogamy. Agents of pollination, that is the wind, water, animals, insects, and briefly the bird description with the example and significance. The development of the male gametophyte, development of the female gametophyte, outbreeding devices, pollen pistil interaction, the double fertilization, post-fertilization event, the development of the endosperm and the embryo. Details are not required. The formation of the fruit and the development of the seed, elementary. Special modes, apomixis, parthenogenesis, parthenocarpy, polyembryony. Briefly, the significance of seed and fruit formation. Human reproduction, introduction, male reproductive system, female reproductive system, and microscopic anatomy of testis and ovary. Gametogenesis, definition and type. The spermatogenesis, briefly. Oogenesis, briefly. Menstrual cycle, fertilization and the development of the embryo up to blastocyst formation and implantation. Pregnancy and placenta formation, elementary idea, parturition and lactation. Reproductive health. Introduction. What is reproductive health? Need for reproductive health. Sexually transmitted diseases, STD, and its prevention. Birth control, needs and methods, contraception, medical termination of pregnancy, MTP. Amniocentesis, what is it and its significance? Infertility and assisted reproductive technology, IVF, ZIFT, GIFT. Elementary ideas for general awareness. Unit 2, Genetics and Evolution, Hereditary and Variation. Introduction, Mendelian Inheritance, the laws and the deviations from the Mendelism, incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple alleles and inheritance of blood groups, ABO and RH. Pleiotrope, polygenic inheritance, chromosome theory of inheritance, chromosomes and genes, sex determination in human, birth and honeybee, linkage and crossing over, linkage, that is the sex-linked inheritance, hemophilia and the color blindness, Mendelian disorder in human, chromosomal disorders such as the autosomal, that is the thalassemia, sex-linked, the Down syndrome, Turner syndrome and the Klinefelter syndrome. The cause and the symptoms only. The process of inheritance is not required. Molecular basis of inheritance. Search for genetic material, DNA as a genetic material. Experiments on the bacterial transformation by the Frederick Griffith, Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, Hersey and Chase experiment. The structure of DNA, the structure of RNA. Types of RNA, mRNA, rRNA, tRNA along with the functions, DNA packaging, central dogma, elementary, DNA replication, transcription, genetic code and translation, and the regulation of the gene expression, elementary, lac operon, genome and the Human Genome Project, DNA fingerprinting. Evolution. Introduction, the origin of life. Origin of Earth theories on the origin of life on the Earth, spatial creation, spontaneous generation, extraterrestrial or cosmic origin, all with a brief statement. Iogenic origin of the chemical origin of the life, Oparin-Haldane hypothesis supported by the Miller's experiment conclusion. Biological evolution. What is biological evolution? Evidence for the biological evolution, paleontological form of the comparative anatomy, embryological, molecular theories of organic evolution. The introduction about the Darwin's contribution about the modern synthetic theory and the Hardy-Weinberg principle. Mechanism of the evolution, variation, sources of variation, mutation as the sources of variation. Types are not required, mention only the Hugo de Veres experiment. Recombination as a source of variation, process is not needed. Natural selection with the examples. Types of natural selection, gene flow and genetic drift, Hardy-Weinberg principle. Adaptive radiation, the human evolution with the diagram. Unit 3. Biology and human welfare. Health and diseases. Basic concept of immunology, that is the vaccines. Introduction about the immune system, antigen, antibody, antigen-antibody reaction, types of immunity, vaccines and vaccination. Pathogens, parasites causing the human diseases, malaria, filariasis, ascariasis, typhoid, pneumonia, common cold and amoebiasis with the ringworm. The symptoms of the disease, name of the causative agent, mode of transmission, preventive measures. Cancer, HIV, AIDS, symptoms, causative agent, mode of transmission, preventive measures. Adolescence, drug and alcohol abuse. Improvement in the food production, plant breeding, tissue culture, single cell protein, biofortification, animal husbandry, poultry and the dairy farm management, animal breeding, beekeeping and fisheries. Microbes and in the human welfare. In the household and the food processing, industrial production, sewage treatment, energy generation, biocontrol agents and biofertilizers. Biotechnology and its application. Biotechnology and its application involves the introduction, principle, process, genetic engineering, that is the RDT or the recombinant DNA technology. Application of biotechnology in health and agriculture. Introduction, human insulin and the vaccine production along with the gene therapy. And the genetically modified organisms, that is the BT crops. What is GMO? Genetically modified organisms. Example, the cotton, transgenic animals, biosafety issues and the biopiracy with the patents. Unit 5, the ecology and the environment. Ecology, environment and population. Meaning of ecology, environment, habitat and niche, and the organisms and the environment. Introduction, biome concept and the distribution. Major abiotic factors, water, light, temperature and soil. Responses to abiotic factors. Adaptations, the population and the ecological adaptations. Population interactions, mutualism, competition, predation, parasitism. Population attributes, growth, birth rate, death rate, age distribution. Ecosystem, what is ecosystem and its pattern, components of the ecosystem, energy flow, nutrient cycling, carbon and the phosphorus, productivity and decomposition, pyramids of the number, biomass and energy, ecological succession, ecological service, carbon fixation, pollination and the oxygen release, biodiversity and the conservation. What is biodiversity? Levels of biodiversity, genetics, species, ecological patterns of biodiversity, importance and the loss of biodiversity, threats to need for the biodiversity conservation, hotspot, endangered organism, extinction, red data book. Biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation includes the biosphere reserve and the national parks and the sanctuaries. Environmental issues, introduction and the air pollution and its control, water pollution and its control, agrochemicals and the effects, solid waste management, radioactive waste management, greenhouse effect and global warming, ozone depletion, deforestation. 3 success stories addressing the environmental issues, that is the Chipko movement, DGSM, Salient Valley or Amrita Devi Bishnoi Jaipur movements. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and liked this video. And please like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.